If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
Many people with social anxiety are thought to experience overstimulation. Although one could argue that feeling overstimulated is a result of anxiety, it also could be that the overstimulation is actually causing your anxiety. So which came first, the overstimulation or the anxiety? In most cases, it will help to take an objective look at your situation. Were you always anxious in social situations, or did this result from engaging too much? Many different factors can contribute to feelings of overstimulation, including how often you exercise, sleep patterns, stress from work, and other environmental stressors. Reference //overshiness.com/social AC. Brain. Overstimulation can produce a fear-based response within the brain. The fear centers of our brain, primarily the amygdala. To a certain extent, feeling fear in dangerous situations can be helpful. Unfortunately for people with social anxiety, their brain views socializing with other people as dangerous. This becomes a problem. 2. Fear response in body. Not only is there a fear response in the brain, the body has its own ways of dealing with overstimulation. The sympathetic nervous system becomes highly engaged, the pupils dilate, palms sweat, etc. This is a primal response that many people have evolved from now that humans in developed countries no longer have predators to deal with. 4. Increases in cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone that is produced by your body and interferes with both learning and memory. People that suffer from chronic overstimulation need to reduce their stimulation and thus naturally reduce high cortisol levels. 6. Increases in dopamine. Some hypothesize that people with increased dopamine tend to be more anxious. It is thought that by increasing dopamine in people suffering from understimulation, that they will behave normally. In individuals with overstimulation, it is thought that they already have too much dopamine. This is up for debate though, because some people actually find benefit in a dopamine increasing drug like Adderall for anxiety disorders. 7. Decreases in serotonin. Decreased amounts of serotonin can make it difficult to reduce stimulation. By taking a medication such as an SSRI, we are allowing the brain to reuptake serotonin and help produce feelings of calmness and relaxation. This helps us find a more appropriate, balanced level of stimulation. I believe we each have a certain limit for optimal functioning within a stimulating setting. Introverts, who have a relatively low tolerance for social stimulation, will fare less well as unfamiliar stimulation is increased. The number of people, new place, noise level, structure of the function, etc. Social anxiety is much less prevalent among extroverts, many of whom thrive on novelty and new social experiences. For these people, increased stimulation evokes a positive, excitatory response. Those prone to social anxiety experience this stimulation as a threat, causing increased anxiety levels, fight, flight or freeze, and even greater avoidance of subsequent social activity. No, not really. Social anxiety is just excessive fear brought about by what others think of one, or by the fear of social rejection. People with social anxiety don't have any trouble handling sensory stimuli, like one with autism would. It wouldn't be uncommon for people with SAD to be fine listening to loud music, or watching loud TV. If overstimulation was a causative factor in SAD, symptoms would present themselves in many situations that did not involve social situations. It relates much more if you also are a highly sensitive person, meaning you process stimuli 10 times more than the average person. Overstimulation and high sensitivity don't cause social anxiety for most people, but they can sure make things a lot worse when the anxiety come on, it seems. Partly because the anxiety itself can be overstimulating. Also, when overstimulated, we already feel overwhelmed. So to add anxiety on top of that just magnifies everything even more, it seems. I feel like it makes it more likely to come on too, because we can handle much less in a state of overstimulation. This is all based on personal experience as a socially anxious, highly sensitive person.